5 mistakes that people who want to buy a house usually make. Let's jump right into it. What's going on, guys? My name is Prince Cool. I'm a real estate agent right here in New York, and I want to talk about 5 mistakes, common big mistake that people who usually want to buy a house usually make. Let's start with number 1, going home shopping before you get a mortgage pre-qualification or an approval from a mortgage officer. A lot of time when people think about buying a house, the first thing they want to do is start going to open houses or start going to look at prices of different houses and whatnot. That is wrong, man. That is wrong. You don't want to do that. You don't want to start with that process, because what end up happening is you're going to go look at a house. You may like that house. Everything looks nice about it. You say, you know what? Shoot, I think I want to get this house. Come to find out, you go to the bank, get a mortgage, and guess what? You don't qualify for the house. Now, you're disappointed. I want that house. You're sad and you feel bad, and now you want to change the whole process. Well, don't do that. Don't go look at houses. These days, right, we have a lot of technologies these days where we can look at different houses right on our phone. That's fine. You could browse a couple of houses on your phone. That's fine. But to go out and start looking at houses and whatnot, you don't want to do that. What you want to do exactly is talk to an agent. Okay? The first thing that you want to do is talk to a real estate agent. Probably there's someone that you know in your local state that is an agent, or you got a friend that's probably an agent, but you want to talk to somebody who's an agent, right? And just tell them, yo, bro, sis, whatever the case may be, you know what? I'm thinking about buying a house. This is what I'm thinking about. This is what I'm thinking about. How can you advise me? If they're a good agent, what they're going to do is something that's called buyer's consultation. That means that they're going to consult you by asking you some questions just to see where you kind of stand. They're going to ask you general questions about yourself, questions about your financial statement. How are you looking financially? What's your credit score? What kind of house do you want? What's your family size? They're going to ask you a couple of questions that get you start thinking about what you actually really want. So you want to buy a house, huh? And then what they're most likely gonna do, again, if they are a good agent, is recommend you to a mortgage officer who could kind of like give you an idea of what you could possibly qualify for, so that once we have that information, then we could start looking at houses that are within our budget or work on what we gotta work on, right? Let's say our credit score is not that high, then we'll say, you know what, you gotta wait a little bit and work on your credit score a little bit, or your saving is not enough, or your income is not enough. Then we gotta work on those things and keep it moving. This is usually the idea. So number 1, don't go house shopping yet. Speak to an agent first, do a buyer consultation second with that agent, and third, hopefully he could connect you to a mortgage loan officer that can get you pre-approved or pre-qualified. That's number 1. Number 2, seriousness and goofing around. A lot of buyers, I should say, like to act like they want to buy when in reality they're just showing off or they're just goofing around, right? You see an open house, and then you with your girl, you want to take your girl and show off, act like, you know, you're the man. So let's go to the open house. So what's the asking price on this house? Honey, check it out. It's only $500,000. I think I'm gonna make an offer. Yeah, I want to make an offer, okay? I think I'm gonna make an offer. You stop goofing around, acting like you really want to buy when you're not interested. Stop doing that, man. Stop doing that. Because people are out here working hard, man, trying to figure out who's serious versus who's not serious. You understand? I don't want to waste my time trying to figure out who's serious about buying and who's not serious. I want to spend my time more about what really matters, right? Finding the right property for my clients. Because a lot of time when you go to see a house, if you don't have a mortgage loan pre-qualification letter, we're not going to take you serious like that. Number 3, not working with an agent. Okay, not working with an agent. Now, you don't have to work with an agent. That is not a requirement. Okay, if you think you know it all, you could do it all on your own, go ahead. You could go work with an agent. That's not a problem. Yeah, hello, real estate agent. I don't need you. I go do this by myself. Shit, let me call him back. But you could work without an agent. That's not a problem. But working with an agent could help you save money, save time, You understand? And just have someone there that could hopefully answer your questions. You walk into a house, you like the house, you have questions that you don't really know who to ask. You could ask the agent that is there, but guess what? That agent is there representing the seller of the house. So that agent has the seller's interest. That agent has a fiduciary duty to the seller. So their best interest is whatever the seller wants. So they don't have your best interest at heart. But you could hire your own agent sometime at no cost. We could talk more about that. Number 4, a lot of buyers sometimes think they need a lot of money in order for them to buy a property. You might see a property listed for like $400K. And you like, damn, I ain't got that kind of money. You don't need $400K. Usually, right? Usually, the sort of like conventional requirement is that you have about 20% as a down payment and extra money on the side just in case there's little fees that you gotta have. So a house that costs $400,000, usually you should have about 80 to 120 saved so that you could use some of that money for the down payment, for other little expenses that may come at closing and whatnot, and then just have a little bit of reserve for the first few months when you move into the house if there's any other work that needs to get done. So that's usually the conventional way. But you go apply and you get a FHA loan, right? With that you could have somewhere between $14,000 to $30,000, and that would get you through the process to qualify for the house, okay? Because with an FHA loan, what happened is instead of putting down 20% down, you could put down as low as 3.5% on a house. So you don't need $1 million to buy a property, okay? And number 5, a lot of buyers think that they could only purchase a property with their partner. Hey, honey, you want to buy a house with me? No? Okay. Their wife, their husband, their significant other, and not anybody else. That's not the case. That's not the case. If you and your best friend decide that, you know what, bro, let's stop wasting money, let's put money together and get a house, you could do that. Y'all don't have to be legally married or none of that stuff. Nah. Well, maybe I'm gonna call my friend Abdullah. Maybe he wanna buy a house with me. I'm gonna call my friend Abdullah. Y'all just have to prove that y'all are planning to live together. You could all go and apply for a mortgage together. I mean, I had a client that was a family of 4, right? It was like sisters and brothers and their mother and their mother. So they put their money together and went to get a mortgage, right? And so you don't have to, it doesn't have to be your wife or your husband or your partner or whatever it is. It's just, it could be 2 friends that decided to say, let's buy a house together. All right, so here goes your 5 mistakes that buyers usually make, and you don't want to fall on those 5 mistakes. Again, just to repeat and make sure you got it. Number 1, don't go home shopping before you speak to an agent, and have that agent do a buyer's consultation with you first. Number 2, if you're serious about buying, then go out there and speak to an agent. If you're not serious yet, think about it first and not waste other people's time. Number 3, again, make sure you work with an agent. If you think you're smart, you know it all, then go ahead, do it yourself. But it don't really cost you that much to work with an agent. Number 4, you don't need $1 million to buy a house, okay? Just talk to an agent that's gonna tell you what you really need, what you can qualify for, what are the different type of loans out there, what are the different type of first-time home buyers, incentives and programs out there that you could probably qualify for. What are some of the grants out there that you could probably qualify for? Okay, that's number 4. And number 5, you don't have to buy a house with only your partner or your wife, your husband or whatnot. No, you and your friend could decide to buy a house together if you guys wanted to. All right, till next time, it's Mr. Prince Cool, real estate agent in New York. If you have any more questions, hit me up, man. All right, hello, Abdullah, you want to buy a house with me? I can't hear you. You want to buy a house with me, Abdullah?